Hello everyone. In this video we are going to study about the Chinese remainder theorem. So this theorem gives a unique solution to simultaneous linear congruences with coprime moduli. So first we need to understand the terms present in this statement. So what is this linear congruence? And what is the simultaneous linear congruences with coprime moduli. So first let us see what this linear congruence is. So this is the symbol for congruent. If x is congruent to a mod m, so what it means is that when x is divided by m, a should be the remainder. Okay, so when x is divided by m, a should be the remainder. So this is a linear congruent equation. For example, we can take this. 10 is congruent to 1 mod 3. So what happens when 10 is divided by 3? We get the remainder as 1. So this is a congruent equation. So now if a congruent equation like x is congruent to 1 mod 3 is given, then this x can take any value that satisfies this condition, because when this value, when x is divided by 3, the remainder should be 1. Then we can have values like 4, 10 or any value that gives you the remainder 1. So because 4 divided by, if x is 4 divided by 3 will give you the remainder as 1, and if 10, using 10, again you will get the remainder as 1. So now if this linear congruent equation, here it is a single statement, single equation, so we can find the value for x easily. Now consider a set of simultaneous linear congruences. So here we have taken three linear congruent equations. First one is x congruent to 1 mod 3, x is congruent to 2 mod 5, and x is congruent to 3 mod 7. So individually if you take these congruent equations, we can have different values for x. So if you take the first equation, then the remainder what we should get is 1 when we divide it by 3. So the values can be 4, 10, etc. And the second one is it should be divided by the divisor is 5, and the remainder what we should get is 2. So if you take the value of x as 7, then 7 divided by 5, that will give you the remainder as 2. So x can be 7. And if you take 12, so 12 divided by 5, again you will be getting the remainder as 2. So the x value can be 12 also. So we'll be getting different values for x. So similarly the third one. But what we need is a unique value for x. We need a unique value for x such that all these given simultaneous congruent equations are satisfied. So what we need here? We need a single value for x. So this we have to find. So that is the purpose of this Chinese remainder theorem, to find out a single unique value for x when a set of simultaneous linear congruences were given. Then next one, according to this theorem statement, in this theorem statement we can see here, this gives a unique solution to simultaneous linear congruences with coprime moduli. So what is the meaning of coprime? A set of integers, we have given a set of integers, say from s equal to a1 to an. This can also be called as coprime or setwise coprime if the greatest common divisor of all the elements of the set is 1. So in this set we have been given a set of elements. if the greatest common divisor of all the elements is 1, then we can say that that set is a coprime or set-wise coprime. For example, if we take a set S is equal to 3, 5, 7, and if you find the greatest common divisor among these three numbers, that will be equivalent to 1, because for all these numbers 3, 5 and 7, only 1 is the only positive integer that divides all these three numbers 3, 5 and 7. So this is the meaning of coprime. And moduli, so the divisors, so in this in this congruent equation, x congruent to 1 mod 3, so this is the divisor. This divisor, this is also called as the moduli. Now we'll see the theorem statement. Given a pairwise coprime positive integers m1, m2 up to mk and arbitrary integers a1, a2 up to ak, the system of simultaneous congruences, so given a set of congruences x congruent to a1 mod m1, x congruent to a2 mod m2 and so on up to x congruent to ak mod mk, this has a solution, and this solution is unique solution modulo m equal to m1 into m2 into mk. So we'll learn this theorem using an example, and we'll find out a unique value for x which satisfies all the given linear congruent equations. So before going to an example, so we'll see how the final x value has to be calculated. So x is congruent to a1 capital M1 inverse plus a2 capital M2 inverse plus so on. It goes based on the number of simultaneous congruent equations we have. So if we are taking 3 linear congruences, then we will be having 3 terms here, followed by modulo capital M, where this M is equal to the multiplication of all the divisors M1 into M2 up to Mk. So here I have just listed out all the required variables. So from the equation we know that we need A1, A2, A3, and to find out capital M, we need the values of M1, M2, M3, and then we need to find out what is M1, M2, M3, and then we need to find out M1 inverse, M2 inverse and M3 inverse. So as we find out these values, we can write it in this, and finally we can calculate the value for x. So let us start with an example. Consider the following set of simultaneous linear congruences and solve it. So the first congruent equation is x is congruent to 2 mod 3, and the next one is x congruent to 3 mod 5. The third one is x is congruent to 2 mod 7. So when we compare this with the previous linear congruent equations, we can see that what is A1, A2, A3 and what is so if you compare with this equation, we can see that so this values are the A1, A2 and A3, and what follows this mod is the M1, M2 and M3. So we can fill these values in the table what we have prepared for our solution. So here based on this given linear equations, so A1 is 2, A2 is 3 and A3 is 2. and this is m1, m2 and m3, that is the moduli or the divisors. So m1 is 3, m2 is 5 and m3 is 7. So now we have to calculate what is the value of m, capital M1, M1 inverse, M2, M2 inverse, M3 and M3 inverse. So capital M is nothing but the multiplication of M1, M2 and M3. So what will we get? M is equal to M1 into M2 into M3. So this is equal to M1 is 3 into 5 into 7. So this gives us 35 into 3, 105. So the capital M value is 105. So we can update it here. M is equal to 105. Now we want to find out what is M1, M2 and M3. So how to find that? M1, to find M1 is equal to capital M divided by small m1. So capital M1 is equal to capital M divided by M1. So capital M is 105 divided by small m1 is 3. So this gives the value of 35. So capital M1 is equal to 35. And then we will find what is M2 and M3. So M2 is equal to capital M divided by small m2. So this is equal to 105 divided by m2 value is 5. So this gives you 21. So m2 is equal to 21. And m3 is equal to capital M divided by small m3. So this is equal to 105 divided by m3 is 7. So this gives us 15. M3. So now we have found the values for M1, M2 and M3. So we'll update it. M1 is 35. M1 is 35 and M2 we have calculated it as 21 and M3 we have calculated it as 15. So now we want to find what is M1 inverse, M2 inverse and M3 inverse. So we know that when if there is a number x and the multiplication with inverse of that value will be giving you the value 1. The multiplication of a number and its inverse will give you the value as 1. So similarly here also, if m is multiplied with its inverse, then it should give you the remainder as 1. Okay, m into its inverse should give you the remainder as 1. Since here we are talking with the modulo value, then this will be equal to mod m1. Mod m. So if it is m1 into m1 inverse will give you 1 mod m1. Similarly, so this can be written as m1 into m1 inverse equal to 1 mod m1 is small m1 is 3. Similarly, we can write m2 into m2 inverse is equal to 1 mod 5, and m3 into m3 inverse is equal to 1 mod 7. Now we want to find, we know the value for m1, m2 and m3. So we need to find the values for m1 inverse, m2 inverse and m3 inverse. So how to find that? M1 inverse now will be equal to, so 35. So when you apply this equation, the value of capital M1 is 35 into M1 inverse equal to 1 mod 3. So now what we can do to find out this M1 inverse is, we can since this is a easy equation, we can apply some values and we can find out whether it is satisfying. So let me put let m1 inverse equal to 1. So if we put 1, what happens? 35 into 1 is equal to 1 mod 3. But will it give the right solution? 35 divided by 3, what it will give? 35 divided by 3, the remainder is 2. So this option is not correct. So this option is not correct. So let us take let m1 inverse is equal to 2. So if I take 2, then 35 into 2 is equal to 1 mod 3. So that is 70 is equal to 1 mod 3. When 70 is divided by 3, we'll be getting so when we are dividing 70 by 3, we'll be getting the remainder as 1. So this assumption is correct. So now then it means that m1 inverse is equal to 2. Similarly, we have to find it for m2 inverse and m3 inverse. So let me take now m2 value is 21 into m2 inverse is equal to 1 mod 5. 1 mod 5. So let me assume that m2 inverse is equal to 1. So let m2 inverse equal to 1. So what happens? 21 into 1 is equal to 1 mod 5. So that gives you, when 21 is divided by 5, the remainder will be 1. So this assumption is also correct. So m2 inverse is equal to 1. Here we get m1 inverse equal to 2. Similarly for m3 inverse. So m3 is, already we have the value of m3 is 15 into m3 inverse equal to 1 mod 7. So again, if I apply, if M3 inverse equal to 1, then 15 into 1 equal to 1 mod 7. So 15 divided by 7, that will give you the remainder 1. So this is also correct. So M3 inverse is equal to 1. So now we can update the table again. So with the values of M1 inverse, M2 inverse and M3 inverse. So M1 inverse is 2, M2 inverse is 1, M3 inverse is also 1. Now we can apply the formula for finding the value of x. So x is congruent to A1 capital M1 M1 inverse plus A2 M2 M2 inverse plus A3 into M3 inverse modulo capital M. So we'll apply this values here. So x is congruent to 2 into 35 into 2. So this is nothing but, this is A1, this is M1 capital M1, this is capital M1 inverse, plus A2 value is 3 into capital M2 is 21 into M2 inverse is 1, plus A3 is 2 into M3 into M3 inverse. So now this gives the value of 140 plus 63 plus 30, and this should be followed by modulo capital M. So capital M we have found as 105. So this modulo 105. So this means 233 mod 105. So what is the value of x now? So if you divide 233 divided by 105, then we'll be getting 2 times it is 210, the remainder is 23. So this is the x value now. X is equal to 23. But how do we know that the value that we have found as x is equal to 23 is correct or not? So that we can verify it easily. Because based on the problem what you have given, it is said x is congruent to 2 mod 3. So if I apply 23 here, 2 mod, so it is given as x is congruent to 2 mod 3. So now we have found the value of x is 23. So 23 congruent to 2 mod 3. So when 23 is divided by 3, we'll be getting the remainder as 2. So this is correct. And the next equation given is x is congruent to 3 mod 5. 3 mod 5. So again when we apply 23 here, 23 when divided by 5, the remainder is 3. So this is also correct. And the third equation given is x congruent to 2 mod 7. X congruent to 2 mod 7. So x is 23. So when 23 divided by 7, the remainder is 2. So this is also correct. So now we have found a unique solution for x which satisfies all the given simultaneous linear congruences. So this is how we need to find the we have to solve the simultaneous linear congruences using the Chinese remainder theorem. Thank you.